Bam. We are live. We're live right here. We've got it not guilty. This is the not guilty stream. We've got our buddy Brian Houston from Hillsong Church, not guilty, and Lyle Shelton from Family First, who was the leader of the Australian Christian lobby back when we had the gay marriage vote. Absolute legend. He always gives me an interview whenever I see the bloke. Love these two men who I think are great inspirations for me. Lyle Shelton, you should follow him on Twitter. He's my favorite Twitter troll. He always speaks the truth. But like what I like about Lyle, I like to interview him when I talk to him face to face. He's got the balance right of like speaking the truth, but he's conscious to be a nice person and to be like, there's the scripture that says we should be ambassadors for Christ. So we can't be out there. I hope people would think like is the Dusty Bogan. And now what we're doing is we're sort of like pivoting to the Bogan Christian lobby. The Bogan Christian lobby. We love people. We speak the truth, but we love people. We want to bring people to Christ, that they would have the same experience that I've had. That it's such a huge help for me. It's such a huge help. Like Christianity, I know we're always like, this will save your soul. Like I don't know. When I die, I'm like, geez, I hope I'm going to heaven. I hope I go to the interdimensional spirit realm, and I'm like, Jesus is there, and I'm like, oh my Lord. And I think with Jesus we all kind of have a bit of a hope, but this is what I do believe Christianity has helped me. I can sleep easier, I can rest my head, I feel forgiveness, I forgive other people, I'm lighthearted, I feel like spiritual empowerment to overcome sin and temptation and issues in my own life. I've got that culture of self-reflection where I'm like, oh, I was an idiot. This makes my life easier and better. I'm a better person. I can get along with people. It's so good. I wish other people could have what I've got. I believe in it. I feel it. I live it. Christianity's changed my life. I know like I was saying, we worry about the afterlife, but like, what about here and now? My life's way better for this. This is what the Bogan Christian lobby's about. This is what I believe. Lyle Shelton is like that. He doesn't lie. If we lie to people as Christians, and we're going to lead them down the garden path. We're leading down a life that isn't a good life. Like we should care about your life now, living in the world. You don't want a horrible life, full of regret and pain, and you think about your life and you're like, shouldn't have done that, or I was an asshole, or your heart gets hardened and you're like, your life's just full of addictions and anger and like that path. It's the heart that's important. How do you feel in your heart of hearts? Because that's what Jesus didn't come to, give you an app on the phone that can fix your life. Like, we can go to a financial planner, a personal trainer, a life coach, a career advisor, a psychiatrist. We can listen to a motivational speech. We can get our finances and everything in order. We can do that. They're all good things, but did Jesus come to do all that stuff? Jesus came to do the heart surgery, brains, help us. So what are you trying to do? I think Lyle, like I'm saying, Lyle speaks the truth. He still speaks the truth in love. Some people speak the truth and it seems to be kind of nasty. We want to find that balance. I want to find that balance. And I want to find that balance. And that's why it's important for me to talk to Lyle. And there's other guys like that as well, like Dave Pallow and these guys who are sort of in the political commentaries, the culture wars. But I don't think they're assholes. It's crazy that Lyle would be treated like crap. Lyle Shelton dragged before the courts, just found not guilty because he said something about some gay tranny thing. Should we pull up some article? I was going to do a paint shot. I was going to do a live painting while we're here. We don't have much time. I'll just read and we're just going to paint. Apparently, Lyle Shelton did get. There was something about a gay penguin. Should we draw a penguin? This is my gay penguin. He is not like all the other gay penguins. He's beautiful. They sit somewhere in the Sydney Zoo. Apparently, there was like secret. These penguins that were like, these penguins are gay. And like, Lyle's like, they are not gay. There's no such thing as a gay penguin, boy. Yeah, I don't know if there's such a thing as gay penguins, but this is a straight penguin, a super straight penguin. Mother, I tell you, this is. The penguins have like, he's got kind of like a. Anyway, let's keep talking. Lyle Shelton, some trannies, he wrote a blog and they were like, they tried to do Lyle Shelton for like defamation of somehow it stressed them out, the blog. And they dragged Lyle Shelton through the courts for like 3 years, I think they said. And he finally got, it cost them $200,000. And he's finally got a not guilty verdict, which is awesome. That's my gay penguin, boy. He's sitting on an iceberg. He's sitting on an iceberg. I'm telling you, that is an iceberg. And that's an iceberg. Let's see if we can. We'll just go like out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. This is an iceberg on the ocean. Anyway, Lyle Shelton finally, after 2 years, it's like the weaponization of the courts, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Where they go out and they make it your life hell because of his opinion on, did a blog on Twitter, and oh my God, Lyle Shelton's the most evil man on planet Earth. But the court, the QCAT court, after $200,000, everyone donated to his legal fees, and they found him not guilty. Lyle Shelton, oh my Lord. How do I pull up? How do I do this? Remove. Oh my goodness. Can I? Anyway, we have Brian Houston is the next one because this is like the not guilty. Not guilty. Brian Houston also in court. His father was some kind of pedophile and was a pedophile, like a confirmed pedophile. Brian Houston in 1999, it came out. He found out about it. He had to sack his. I think Brian was the head of like the Australian Christian churches or AOG, and he was like, it was his responsibility to sack the dude, take away his credentials so he could not preach. All this started like a public speaking tour about this. I remember, so 2008, something like this. Brian Houston. Hillsong, our church, it was called Garden City Church. We voted for it to become a Hillsong church. And I voted for it. I was like, yeah, this will be good. When Brian came and spoke at our church, right, the very first time he ever spoke at our church, and they were sort of like, oh, we'd like you to become part of Hillsong. The end of the preach, he walks up the side of the church, like up into the crowd, getting amongst it, talking to people. Bang, he walked straight up to me or near me, and I was like, yo, Brian, how you going? Had a good chat to him. Got to share my testimony with the guy. Like this dude, I remember the first time hearing him preach, and Brian was like, publicly said, like, oh, look, my father was a pedophile, broke my heart when I found out, had to sack him. I'm on a public speaking tour, constantly talking about it. And like so Brian got dragged before the courts, and I think the courts, or they were saying that they believed he was concealing evidence of his father's crime. So look, if that was the case, obviously you'd want to know, is the dude, has he done that? Has he hidden information? If the dude who was a victim of Brian Houston's father was a Christian, these young Christians, all you hear of like pedophile priests or whatever, you're like, yo, these are Christian kids victims of this. predators, like look at the predators. They go into schools and any environment. Anyone who's ever worked with kids or like churches now, they've really stepped up the game and they're like well aware that the freakos, predators will come in like wolves in sheep's clothing. You have to be very fucking careful. People can't just like, parents think you're sending your kids to Sunday school or you send them to scouts or the brownies or whatever they have, you know, or a youth group or a fucking school or wherever. They think they're like trying to, their kids are safe. And then these predators are in there and they fucking are wolves in sheep's clothing. So the system, we've woken up to this fact that these fucking disgusting people are about. We've woken up and we're trying to fucking make sure that doesn't happen, which is great. God bless him. It's good that this shit goes towards the courts and people look at it and go, you know, did Brian Houston conceal anything? I think it's kind of good. I think Brian, even when you see there's videos of Brian, it's like he won the court case, not guilty. He didn't conceal nothing. That's great. Seems like a good day. But it's like he still looks a bit down. Why does he look down? He's fucking hugely disappointed in his father. It disgusts him. He's just like the rest of us who would probably be quite happy that pedophilia would hold the death penalty. I'm sure he holds that position. I think he still feels sorry for the dude, the victim of his father. So like, it's the thing is, it's like, yes, he won in court, but no one, you can't be like, yay, this is a fucking, it's not 100% victory because life's like that. This is like it's circumstantial where he has a heart in his chest and he's like, well, this poor bugger's still a victim. That's a fact. It's kind of good in a way that the court looked into things. That's good that they're willing and able and wanting to look into shit to see if there's, you know, horrible shit going on. I'm glad that's the fucking case. It's good he was found not guilty. But at the end of the day, what we kind of think, what I believe this, I spoke to Brian Houston. I voted for him to Hillsong to be a take over our church, Garden City Church. I spoke to Brian. I shared him my testimony, how I became a Christian. He seemed like a genuine dude. And like when I seen an Andrew Bolt interview with Brian Houston and you're like, he doesn't seem his like bombastic, I don't know, like awesome high energy preacher. You're like, where's that high energy preacher style? It's like he's just had a victory in court. Is he speaking? Is he a bit down and out? No, I think like from experience when I spoke to Brian, he's actually like when he's not preaching it up. When anyone preaches it up, I've done some preaching. If I'm like doing a live stream or even if I'm interviewing people, I think you dial it up a few, beep, 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 and you're a bit like on. But then when you talk to someone, maybe in a kind of interview style, from my experience anyway, speaking to Brian, he seemed quite humble, quite nice. He didn't seem to be too out there like high energy. He seemed quite relatable and real and normal. Seemed like a normal dude. Because I seen Andrew Bolt, when Andrew Bolt interviewed Brian Houston, he was like, you seem a bit down. But I was like, yeah, I think the dude's just like, to be honest, I think he's just actually more of a normal chap who, let's just share the screen. I think it looks better when I at least share the screen and we pull up a little, looks like the articles there. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Where's an article? This is Brian Houston's daughter. She's lovely. He's got like a family of 3 children, all married off. They're all serving in the church. Brian Houston got stood down from his church that he created, like the largest church in bloody Australia. 69. He's still out there having a crack. Here he is. Brian Houston reckons we will probably never know the extent of the pedophilia. A lot of people have been hurt, and for that, I'm very sad. Exactly. He walks out of court. He has a victory. He wins. He wins in court, proven not guilty. He didn't conceal any pedophilia. It's proven in court now. you think he's like, should be like, yay, but he's like, no. There's like, we're talking about a situation where there are victims involved. This is a good answer. This is how he's not like walking out like, F you. He did make some comments, which I appreciated, where he was sort of saying, he's like, the court, it is the weaponization of the courts. I really do think it's the weaponization of the courts. They have weaponized the courts against this man. And they've weaponized the courts. They've tried to do it with Lyle Shelton. They've tried to do it with Brian Houston. It's crazy that both of these court cases have been announced this week. Oh, the comment section. How you going? You just need a working link. Oh, am I going to invite you, my friend? Invite. I'm only here for like another 5 minutes and I'm going. How you going, mate, Glenn? But this is the thing, right? Let's say Brian Houston, Lyle Shelton, absolute legend, proven not guilty for harassing a fucking tranny. He edited a blog about trannies, found not guilty in some QCAT court. And you're like, that's good. That's a good win for freedom of speech. But the court, it's like the process is the punishment, the process of dragging people. Both men found not guilty, Brian Houston, Lyle Shelton, both Christian men. They bring an accusation against you, get dragged through the courts for months or years, and they probably spent thousands of dollars. Lyle Shelton had $200,000 worth of legal fees raised for him. But the process is the punishment. Even if you get a not guilty and you're like, yeah, not guilty, the media jumps on the bandwagon. They rubbish you. They defame you. Bang. How you going, Zen Rhino? They defame you. They rubbish you. They try to make your life a living hell and make you spend an F ton of money. Drew the Conqueror. How you going? We've got Rumble here. Grow a pair, you pansy Australian. I don't know. I'm just reading the bottom of the comment section. His first comment, Drew the commenter, Jesus said he came with a sword. Did penguins march across the desert to get to Noah's Ark? These are all the best questions. I love that shit. Draw another penguin, you pansy. Yeah, I know. All right, let's have a crack. I actually wasn't too thrilled with that penguin. Let's see if I can get this Paint Shop Pro again. Bang, here he is. Maybe we could do him like smoking. We don't smoke anyway. We're not condoning cigarette smoking. I haven't drank booze now for 15 weeks. 15 weeks. I've been having like maybe a cigarette every now and then. A cigarette. This guy could have a cigarette. Look at that. Penguin smoking a cigarette. Oh my Lord, he's smoking a cigarette. That penguin. This penguin's a Christian. He could have some kind of flag. He could hold some kind of, I'm not gay. Maybe his flag says, I ain't no gay penguin. My heart's full of hatred to the gay population. Nah, I'm only joking. Gayness is a sin. I mean, the truth is, we got to speak the truth, hey? And you got to say, like, homosexuality is a sin. There's only two genders. Marriage is only between a man and a woman. If you don't have I'm not gay. I'm not gay. These are all things I do believe. I don't know if you can you can't get to heaven without Jesus. So we should be preaching the gospel. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you a bit of my testimony of like My church wasn't Hillsong, but it became a Hillsong church. And, thank God someone invited me to church. I was in high school. Me and me mates were like joyriding cars. Me and my mate joyrided his mum's car. The next day, he joyrided another car, crashed it, killed the passenger. Me mate who dropped out of school became a tradie. He come around, he sold me some pot. He's got a sick Tirana, and he drove away that afternoon, crashes the car, kills someone. Me other mate drops out of school, becomes a tradie, starts smoking ice. He was smoking ice. I woke up one morning, he was smoking ice in my bedroom. And 2 weeks later, he murdered someone high on ice. So, like, my brother got in a fight. Brother and good mates got in this big brawl. One of them ends up in jail. Pete, my older brother, almost ended up in jail. This is the kind of situation we were rolling in. And around that time, all this is going on. Some mates invited me to a youth group, a Christian church. I was like, whoa, this is all the leaders were like tradies, a lot of concreters and chippies and stuff. Sick youths, Forbies, going to the gym, playing sports, skateboarding. They were living a good life. I could see a better life. I could see a community there, and I was like, "Yo, I need this in my life. I'm gonna step into this. And it's time." And I was like, "Well, this could change. This could save my life." I could see things weren't going good, and it did. It just like bam. And this is the thing: how they like rubbish the church. They rubbish Hillsong. They rubbish Brian Houston and Lyle Shelton. But dude, these Christian communities this is the place where people can have a brand new environment apart from, like me, the alcohol. I haven't drank for 15 weeks. And now I'm like, will I ever drink again? Will I ever be a binge drinking? Love to drink. Like I got maybe half a liter there of moonshine sitting right there. Make my own moonshine. I love to drink. I used to love to drink. I never thought I would never not want to drink. And I've been a Christian 18 years. I think it's been 18 years and 3 weeks since I got baptized. I got my baptism certificate, a certificate next to my bed, and I look at it every day. But I'm so grateful for the local church. And hey, man, Brian Houston, he seemed like a good dude. Why are we dragging? Imagine if my children have ancestry of convict ancestry through my wife. Now we're going to start judging people because of their parents. Now, Brian Houston from Hillsong, his father was a pedophile. Should have got the death penalty. I think if we were a real Christian society, would have that dude with the brown onion sack over his head and the axe, sharpening his axe, and he'd like just lop the head off the sodomites and the pedos. Get rid of them. That's justice. That's godly justice. Get rid of them, right? Why are we judging? We can't judge people according to their ancestry. You're accountable for what you do. Anyway, and the media and the courts have been weaponized against the church, which transformed my life. I would probably be in jail, could have been in an early grave, could have addictions in my life that could be stopping me from living a great life. Like I've been married for, I think 12 years now. 12 years now. Got 2 kids. We're going to go for a 3rd kid soon. I work with my hands. I make an honest living. Bang. Living a good life. Life, with even this week. Look, life's still got challenges. I've had a hernia operation. I've just got I got 2 more days of light duties. I go back to full workload on Wednesday. I've had 7.5 weeks of light duties. Bang. So yeah, I'm a Christian. You get injuries, you need a hernia operation. This week, my boy got sick, and we had to take him. We had to ring an ambulance and get the ambos to come and take him up to the hospital. He was up at hospital. You know, these are the normal challenges in life. Imagine all this time off work and telling your boss, oh, mate, I need this hernia operation. It's a work cover claim. Got to have I had 3.5 weeks off work, and then another 7.5 weeks of another 3 weeks after that light duties. This is the challenges of life. You're working your guts out as a concreter in the hot sun, covered, sick. My toddler brings home sick. I'm sick right now. I've got fluoro snot coming out of my mouth. This is all normal stuff. And thank God, I'm grateful that what I do have, what Jesus, the Christian culture, the Christian way, the way Jesus sort of definitely pioneered a way of believing you have a hope, forgiveness, to forgive others, to have a hope beyond the grave, to have like a life where there are cultural norms, there is a pattern that is godly that you can follow. And my missus is calling me. She's probably like, my boy's probably woken up. Anyway, did God create sickness of your child? I'm sick right now. I think the faith that I've come to understand in my life that is super beneficial to me. It helps me in my spirit, the spiritual internal part of my mind and thinking that says it will work out, or that there's even a hope beyond the grave, that like you could, horrible circumstance can come into people's life, and is there hope beyond the grave? Is there an eternal aspect of your spirit? Are you more than just this meat suit? And like, yes, God created all of this, but from what Jesus is saying, we've got a better hope coming. There's something else to come. There's more to this. The kingdom is to come. There is going to be a spiritual awakening, and God's kingdom will come. We're not right there. And in this life, we can have sickness. Our kids can be sick. We can have these horrible things, but in our spirit, we can overcome. We can have a hope. I'll wrap it up. My boy's waking up. Anyway, it was good to do a little live stream. I'm going to try to do some more short live streams. And I keep saying that, and I keep doing them regularly. But anyway, I'm just, praise the Lord that Brian Houston and Lyle Shelton have done not guilty. They're won in court against, a weaponized court and a weaponized media who seems to be like, could we call it the antichrist? Are anti-Christian? Are they atheist? They're anti-theist. At least they're anti-theist. It's in their name. And they hate God, and they'll weaponize the court and the media against you. And these men have been proven not guilty in court. So we just got to keep at it, keep pressing on. And I'll just, thank goodness for all you people who watched on, who are watching on Rumble and YouTube. I just got my YouTube back after my strike disappeared this morning. And they took my TikTok. Damn, I hit like 1 million views in 7 months and had 5,500 followers. And I think tonight I'm going to make a new email. That's the point. To see I'm like changing it up to the Bogan Christian lobby. I might create a new TikTok and YouTube and see if I could like work around the algorithm. See if I could like pivot, rebrand slightly and pivot and work around it. We'll see how we go. I'll get my act together and create a new email or get like a burner SIM card with a new number, and I'll create a new TikTok. Anyway, God bless yous. Catch yous later.